costs of home ownership. That's something that you hear a lot about. You hear people being surprised. I didn't know it would cost this much, or I didn't know this would happen. This video is designed to give you a couple things to consider before you buy a house, so that once you buy a house, you're not swacked in the wallet by a hidden cost. Okay, so first of all, a little housekeeping. I'm a mortgage lender licensed in 48 states, everywhere but Utah and Rhode Island. My phone number for everyone watching me on the TV is 707-478-0637. Yeah, I want to be your lender. Obviously, I want to be your lender. There's 950,000 videos here. I want you to be educated, empowered, and I'd love to be your lender. Okay. Now, let's talk about the big ones. So, and this isn't a hidden cost, but this is something that you want to approach head on, and you want to be realistic about it during the pre-approval process. So this is before you buy a house. You know, all of this is for before you buy a house. So property taxes, it's very important that you understand how your county reassesses. And what I mean by that is you need to know, like, okay, are you in an area where they reassess, meaning they increase taxes every few years? Is it every year? Is it when you buy the house? But then also, most importantly, what potential exemptions might you have? You know, if you're owner occupied, does that help you? You really want to be Googling, you know, the county name, property tax assessment, and then property tax exemptions. Right? Because, like, for instance, with veterans, if they have 100% VA disability, there's certain states where they can be exempt from property taxes, but they have to file for it. You know, people in certain age groups, people in certain incomes, depending on the state, there may be some tax breaks for them. The lender doesn't do this for you. The real estate agent doesn't do this for you. The title company doesn't do this for you. You do this for you. So do the county property tax exemption. Do that, Google. Okay. Number one, also you need to know how much the taxes can go up. Certain states cap how much it can go up. Other states don't, and that's something to consider when you're purchasing a home. So very important on property taxes. Understand that your mortgage lender does not control the property taxes in any way, shape, or form. All we control is your principal and interest payment. We do not control your property taxes. Okay. Homeowners insurance. Now, top tip, make sure you're shopping for homeowners insurance when you're getting pre-approved. I usually recommend that you start talking to homeowners insurance companies before you're in contract, and it's because you want to know the questions they're going to ask. There's a lot, and you know, everyone's like, oh, it'll be quick, like 5 minutes, no, like sometimes it's like 45 minutes to get a homeowners insurance quote. So if you're thinking of writing an offer on a house, I would literally call a homeowners insurance company that you're considering and saying, hey, look, we're writing an offer. It looks like it's going to get accepted, but I got a budget, so I need to know how much homeowners insurance will be. Now, a couple things. You know, deductible, that's a big deal. Like, do you want homeowners insurance with a $500 deductible? Probably not. You're not going to want to make a claim on your house unless it's sizable, because you're not going to want to deal with the repercussions down the line for that. So make sure you're talking to a couple different homeowners insurance agents, companies, because the amount can vary dramatically. Shockingly, you know, people would think like, oh, it must be like pretty standardized and companies probably only differ by 50 to 100. No. You can see one house quoted out from different homeowners insurance companies, and there can be $1,000 difference on a $400,000 house. So really make sure you're looking at that. But also make sure you're reading reviews on the insurance companies. This is one of the big hidden costs. So the reason I bring this up is because there are insurance companies in certain states where they are known to quote really low, and then once you close on the house, they do an inspection and suddenly your premium goes up. So if you're looking at reviews and you're seeing someone say, they increased my premium by 1,000%, by this, by that, like, would I want to work with that insurance company? No, right? And sometimes people go, well, but they're the cheapest. Not for long, not for long. I mean, that's the thing. When you're thinking about homeowners insurance, you know, do I personally, if I was buying a house, would I go for the cheapest? No. The first call I would be making to see if they would do the house is Chubb. every single time. You know why? Because Chubb will be there if something goes wrong. Chubb also does all the stuff where, like, you know, California has wildfire risk, and a lot of times people go, Chubb, oh, that's only for multi-million-dollar. It's not. It's not for just multi-million-dollar homes. But, you know, I remember during the fire season, I had a property, it wasn't worth $1 million, you know, maybe, you know, 6 to 8, which is still a lot, but it's California. They were going to make sure that house was protected no matter what. You know, they had fire trucks ready. They were good to go. So I think it's really important when you're looking at insurance, beyond looking at cost, also looking at who will be there if something goes wrong, and also who's not going to do these dramatic increases, you know, who has a good reputation for really caring about their clients. So make sure you're looking around. I would avoid fly-by-the-night insurance companies. You know, whenever there's a huge tragedy, those are the ones that fold up. Did you hear that? I got scared. And no one gets paid, which is not good. I would also say that when you're buying a house, make sure that you're budgeting for an insurance increase, because even if you're working with the most ethical, wonderful company in the world, insurance in many parts of the country is going up, and there's certain areas where it's going to continue to go up, but you just don't want it to be dramatic and you don't want to get dropped. So really research that, because that's one of the hidden costs that often you see people talk about in news articles. Maintenance. That one surprises people. So here's what I would suggest, because you'll hear the horror stories where someone's like, I bought this house and I had to put $30,000 in the first year. I had no idea when I was buying a house this could happen. Guys, you're buying a piece of property, okay? And I'm talking about a single family house right now. You know, make sure you're getting a home inspection. Make sure you're selecting the home inspector. Go to the home inspection. It is at that home inspection that you get a really good idea of how much money you're going to be putting in a property. When you're buying a house, yes, you have to maintain it. If the toilet gets clogged, that's on you. You know, if the air conditioner goes out, that's on you. Water heater goes out, that's on you. So it's really important that you get a home inspection. I generally don't recommend going with who the real estate agent advises unless you've researched them. And it's unfortunate I have to say that. There's a lot of great real estate agents that have the best home inspectors because they want to protect their clients. But unfortunately, there's also agents that recommend certain home inspectors because they know they'll never say anything's wrong. And it's hard to know what you're getting. And I would never feel confident enough to say, oh no, you're safe with whoever they suggest, which is why I always say look at third-party reviews. Make sure it's going to be an inspector that walks through everything with you. It's a good idea to do some research on what can go wrong with the house, as well as home inspections, what to expect, so that when the home inspector walks you through it, you know if they missed anything, okay? Because look, there's going to be stuff that needs to be fixed now, generally, but then there's also stuff where it's like, hey, this is 3 years away from being bad. This is 5 years away from being bad. So a lot of times people go, okay, well, the air conditioner is good for 5 years. I don't need to worry about it. Well, that's how you end up in a pickle 5 years from now. So it's like, okay, the air conditioner is going to be bad. It has about 5 years. Like, hopefully it goes longer. But how much is it going to be to replace? And should I start budgeting for this? Yeah, I mean, you should. You definitely should. Unless you're just sitting on stacks and stacks of cash, if you get a home inspection and there's stuff that's going to be, you know, potentially near its end of life within a certain period of time, just start a house maintenance account. That's it. And put in, you know, if it's far out, maybe it's $100 a month, maybe it's $150. But regardless, having a house maintenance account that you're just putting money aside in, it makes it so that when something goes wrong, you can fix it quick. And that's the key to overall making sure you don't end up over your head. Where I'll see it where someone's like, oh my God, like the place is trash, blah, blah, blah. It's something like it starts out as a small leak, but they can't afford to fix it. It becomes a big leak, you know. It's something that starts off like this and ends up like this because the people don't have the money to fix it when it's small. So start budgeting for all of that. And really, the home inspection, cannot stress it enough. If you buy a house without a home inspection and then you're like, oh, I didn't know, of course you didn't know, you didn't do a home inspection. Like, yes, you're gonna be surprised. Like, you may have a bad foundation, who knows? Like, it could be bad. So please, please, please get a home inspection. The other thing to consider is the cost of maintaining the property outside of that. You know, if it has a pool, are you going to be doing the chemicals? If so, how much do they cost? Are you going to hire a pool company? If so, how much do they cost? You know, landscaping, if there's a yard, are you going to mow it or is someone else going to mow it? How much does that cost? How much is a lawnmower? You know, really think through the cost of each item that's going to happen. You know, a big one I'll see is, oh yeah, we need a fence. We're going to need a fence. Fences are expensive. If you're buying a house without a fence, you need to start budgeting for that fence now because you're going to be shocked how much it is. And the last thing you want to do is buy a house and get into a ton of credit card debt. So look, I don't want to go on forever. I'll do a different video for apartments because that's a whole different ball game of hidden costs that you can get into. Questions, comments, as always, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching.